The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Hello, everybody. This is the Novak and Frantz podcast. I'm yours truly, Joe Frantz, and I'm here with Brandon Novak.
What's happening? What's happening, guys?
We got our producer, Taylor.
Hello.
And we have the president of all business affairs for Brandon Novak Incorporated, the illustrious CJ.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's a definite insult. Sorry, Novak.
What, illustrious or the head of business affairs?
Illustrious.
I could go either way.
Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special, rare treat for you. We're going to take you on a time machine journey back to the year 2010, and we're going to revisit the Mel Gibson tapes. Now, a lot of you may not even have heard these have came out because news flies at the speed of light these days, and people forget things so fast. So back in 2010, Mel Gibson had a mean alcohol problem, and he was going through a pretty mean separation with his Russian wife, Oksana. And I guess in order to combat any litigation that she might have, she recorded him on his worst drunken night. So we're going to dissect these tapes with regard to alcoholism. And Novak, you can maybe give us some insight on the alcoholic mind.
Sure.
And we're also going to dissect their relationship, and we're going to have a lot of fun with these because they're fucking hilarious. So without any further ado, Mel Gibson tape number 1. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, he's drunk, and his wife is recording him, and he doesn't know it. Moral of the story is, never talk to your wife on the phone when you're drunk and angry. Here we go.
Tell me that the message or something, right? Because you're doing something, trying to breastfeed with fucking foreign bodies in you. Was that it?
It has nothing to do with it.
Oh, it had nothing to do with what? The fact that you had foreign bodies in there?
Correct.
Now I'm going to stop it right there, Novak. By foreign bodies, he's talking about the breast implants that she has. So
I think personally, foreign bodies is just every other dick that's been inside her but his. In his mind, he's just so disgusted with everything of her.
He sounds disgusted for sure. Oh, yeah.
So it's he's just looking to insult her any way possible. This is
yeah, and you know what? By calling them foreign bodies, he's also dehumanizing her, which is, step number 1 when you're going to pick a fight with your wife, with your trophy wife, I might add, who probably may have fallen in love with him. She may have felt love for him, but maybe his money had a little something to do with it.
like Donald Trump and his wife.
Yes, another Russian.
She was a gold digger that never expected to become first lady.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay, good. So you're not lying to me about fake tits.
I've never have.
Yes, you just did. You said they weren't. You fucking lied to me before.
I didn't.
Wait, wouldn't he know?
You just can't please him. You're fighting an unwinning battle.
He never felt her boobs. He's like, well, you told me they were real. Like, you never noticed?
Well, every answer is the wrong answer.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
I never said anything of a kind. You never asked me, I never told you. Or maybe you asked me, but I never lied about this.
Not a lie. Who cares? So, they look ridiculous. Get rid of them. Why don't you?
That's none of your fucking business. What
It is. They look stupid. I'm just telling you. It's just an appraisal. Keep them if you want. Look stupid. See if I give a fuck. But they're too big and they look stupid. They look like some Vegas bitch. They look like a Vegas whore. And you go around sashaying around in your tight clothes and stuff. I won't stand for that anymore.
I don't walk around. I don't
want
walk.
to be that.
I don't walk around in tight clothes. I stay at home for most of
You go
the
out
time.
in public and it's a fucking embarrassment to me. You look like a fucking bitch on heat. And if you get raped by a pack of niggers, it'll be your fault.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, no.
Oh.
He did it.
Well, guys do object at times when, look, everybody wants a sexy girlfriend or sexy wife, but I think there is a primal animosity sometimes that you feel when your girlfriend or wife overdoes it a little bit in order to please the eyes of other males. I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, would you want, I wouldn't mind if my girlfriend or wife dressed voluptuously, but there comes a point when it's like, if she's doing it when I'm not around all the time,
that's a problem, yeah.
and everyone's oogling her, and you're seeing pictures of her on the internet in public, and I don't know. Brandon, what do you think?
It wouldn't bother me.
No, it doesn't?
Nah, because I've always been, confidence is key in any walk of life. And the last thing a chick wants is like, why are you wearing that fucking shirt? Your tits are 3 centimeters higher than they should be. Shirt's too low. You know, what are you cheating? If they're not cheating, it's only a matter of time before they do cheat. You know, fuck it, I might as well do it anyways because you're accusing me.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. There's a fine line between being, I don't know, jealousy will eat you up in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Jealousy is the worst fucking emotion that you can, and you do it to yourself. No one imposes jealousy upon you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a self-induced curse. So, all right, anyway, here we go.
Because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs you feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants and stuff. You see your pussy from behind. And that green thing today was enough. That's provocative. Okay? I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like it. I don't want that woman. I don't want you. I don't believe you anymore. I don't trust you. I don't love you. I don't want you. Okay?
Okay.
Stay in the fucking house. I'm not giving it to you, but I'll let you stay there. Okay? And I will take care of my child, but I don't want you anymore.
Okay, so that's the end of tape number 1. There's 7 of these. Now, what do you now, she's letting him go on and on. He wants to put fuel on this fire and self-destruct this relationship. And she's not giving in. She's hoping it gets worse and worse throughout the conversation, I think. I think she's kind of playing silent in order to get more from him.
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
The whole submissive role. The only reason why he fell in love with her is for all the things that he's cursing her about now.
Well, she also probably paid top dollar for those fake tits, so she might as well show them off. Well, and she probably knows that she's going to get paid top dollar for these tapes too, so she might as well just stay silent and let him go off.
I don't think he fell in love with her for her brains. You know what I mean? I think she looked provocative and looked really good and sexy and hot and like appealing. So of course he gained interest.
But wouldn't a guy like Mel Gibson be able to find a woman with beauty and brains?
I'm sure.
But is he looking for that?
Or does he have the time?
That's a good point, CJ. Maybe he doesn't want a woman who can think for herself. You know, maybe he wants to be the domineering boss in this twosome.
Kind of sounds like it.
Mm-hmm. But you know, I imagine it would be hard if you're a big Hollywood star to meet people who aren't kind of leeches and parasites. I mean, when you go out to Hollywood, you run into them all the time, you know?
They're definitely more prevalent there. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's so many flakes in that industry.
And I mean, you're so goddamn busy. When do you have time to like court a woman and talk to her for hours about what she likes, what she dislikes? You know.
Yeah, and how are you going to do it? What do you're Mel Gibson? You're going to go to the library and
you can't go to the coffee shop at the corner.
Right. Okay. All right. So here's Mel Gibson tape number 2. This is called "Threatens to Kill Girlfriend."
Yes.
Stay on this phone and don't hang up on me. I have plenty of energy to drive over there. You understand me? And I will. So just fucking listen to me. Listen to my fucking ranting. Listen to what you do to me.
I didn't do anything to you.
A pain in the ass.
You are ruining my life.
You make my life so fucking difficult.
Well, you know what? It's
Be a woman that fucking supports me instead of a woman that sucks off me. And just fucking sucks me dry. And wants. Get out of this relationship if you're a good woman and you love me. I don't believe you anymore.
What did you just
Sick
say?
of your bullshit. Has any relationship ever worked with you? No!
Oh my God.
Disturbing.
He's so mad.
Yeah, it is. To me, I grew up in a very violent household, so it's like I'm getting images of like what my father was like.
I'm same here. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost traumatic.
Yeah, it's weird how your mind flashes back to those times when you're 4 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing and envisioning.
And my dad didn't even drink. He was just like that anyway.
Well, what it comes down to is he hates himself. So, like, how could he love anyone else or be kind to anyone else? He just, he just comes out in all aspects.
He did make a valid point at the end, though, when he goes, "Has any relationship you've ever been in worked?" No, obviously not. If they
Well, how do we know?
They found a relationship together, so obviously she's not with anyone else to be with him, and then that failed.
Yeah, I mean, by default, if you're with a girlfriend, all of her other relationships have failed, because if they were successful, surely she wouldn't be with you. So he is stating an obvious point and creating this false narrative where she's this horrible person. So and I don't know how Oksana ended up with him either. I don't know if she left someone to be with him or anything like that. I really didn't do any research. I wanted these tapes to kind of stand on their own. So here we go.
You don't love me because somebody who loves does not behave this way. I do not. Hang on a second.
behaving like this because I know absolutely that you do not love me and you treat me with no consideration.
Please. Can I
I
please
love you
speak?
because I treated you with every kindness, every consideration. You rejected. You
I'm
will
sorry.
never be happy. Fuck you. Get the fuck away from me. But my daughter is important. All right? Now, you have one more chance.
Wait a minute. He just said he just spent 20 minutes telling her how he doesn't want her, he doesn't love her, and then he says, "You have one more chance."
He says, get the fuck away from me, but he's on the phone with her.
Yeah.
She's not in his presence.
Yeah.
And he's letting her live in the house. She can't have the house from the last phone call, but she can live there.
Now, why do you think she wants the daughter? Do you think she wants the daughter to keep her safe from a drunken madman, or do you think she wants that child support money coming in?
Both.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I would say both.
It's a win-win either way.
Yeah, yeah. And she's not going to be the one taking care of that. The child
She'll have a
support money is going to include a nanny, a maid, a limo driver.
Which will just piss him off more, which she'll love.
Oh, God. It must be so difficult. You know what the thing is about divorce? Is like when you get married, that's such a special thing. You make a vow before God, before your family, before your friends, that this is going to last forever. It must be so painful to watch that crumble around you. It must make you feel like such a failure, so helpless.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay.
Now fucking go if you want, but I will give you one more chance. You make me want to smoke. You fuck my day up. You care about yourself.
You're so
When I am being
selfish.
so fucking good to you, you fucking
I
crazy
didn't
drunk.
do anything. I did not do anything. This is your selfish imagination. That's all.
Fuck up. You should just fucking smile and blow me.
That's my favorite. That goes down in the history books right there.
Wow.
You know what's even more frustrating to him? She's not giving in.
No,
Because-
she's killing him with kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not mad at all.
She hasn't raised her voice once.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be the victim in this narrative that she's creating. And you know what pisses you off even more when you're angry at someone and you feel like you deserve your anger? Is when they talk like this and say, "I don't know why you were angry at me. I did not do anything." Like they won't, because you have two people here who are not communicating on the same fucking level.
At all. Not even close.
I'm sleeping with a baby. I'm waking up every 2 hours. I fell asleep because I was waiting for you because you weren't ready to go to Jacuzzi as we agreed.
Who the fuck cares? We agreed nothing. You agreed. You just fucking expect shit. Go to the goddamn jacuzzi yourself. Go to the fucking jacuzzi. It's the same.
I was just...
No fucking soul.
I didn't blame you for
My
anything.
soul is screaming because
I
you
was
don't
just
have
waiting
one
and
to join
sleeping.
mine. You have no fucking soul. You can't give a fuck. I left my wife because we had no spiritual common ground. You and I have none. Zero. You won't even fucking try.
He talked himself out. He's out. He's huffing and puffing.
You sound like you might pass out.
And the only reason why he left her is because they have no spiritual common grounds. That's it. Mel's a spiritual man.
Well, he did make that Jesus Christ movie.
After this? Yeah, he did go on that rant about Jews when he got pulled over.
Yeah. Apparently he has the problem with the Jews.
He talks about blacks, the Jews, but yet he had to leave her because she's not spiritual. I wonder if that's what he sounds like when he fucks.
Oh, Mel.
I have a mental picture of Mel fucking right now.
Mel, give it to me. Oh, please. Oh, boy, Mel. I love you, lethal weapon. He's still going.
You don't care.
You just enjoy insulting me, that's all.
Fuck you, I so fucking do because you hurt me so bad.
I
You
didn't do
insult me with every
anything.
fucking
I
look,
did
every
not do
breath.
anything and I apologize for
Fucking
nothing.
heartbeat, you fucking selfish
I
heartbeat you
did
have.
not do anything and I apologize for nothing.
What? What?
Oh no!
Apologize for
Oh, boy.
nothing?
Stop.
Well, then you're a dishonest cunt.
Stop
Because you need to
screaming.
apologize for a reason.
I wanted to peace.
Good thing he quit
I wanted
smoking.
to have peace.
Keep peace.
Because you're unbalanced.
Good enough for me, and instinctively I feel that. And
You're
I will not
unbalanced.
be patronized by you
You're
and your fucking
unbalanced.
dishonesty and apologizing.
You need medication.
You apologize because you know you're wrong.
You need medication.
It's all I'll accept. And if you will not fucking admit that, get the fuck out. Then I will make your goddamn life miserable. All right?
You need medication.
Oh boy.
That is the worst. What? Dude, he's so angry. You need medication.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he does, but he's in no position for that to be any kind of
At that
constructive
point in
criticism
time.
right there. Yes, that's the wrong time to tell him.
I don't think he's looking for feedback at this point.
You need medication.
I need a woman. Not a fucking little girl with a fucking dysfunctional cunt. I need a fucking woman. I don't need medication. You need a fucking bat in the side of the head. Alright? How about that? You need a fucking doctor. You need a fucking brain transplant. You need a fucking soul. I need medication. I need someone who fucking treats me like a man, like a human being, with kindness, who understands what gratitude is because I fucking bend over backwards with my balls in a knot to do it all for her. She gives me shit, like a fucking sour look, or says I'm mean. The fuck is that? This is mean. Get it? You get it now? What mean is? Get it? You fucking don't care about me. I'm having a hard time and you fucking yanked the rug, you bitch. You fucking selfless bitch. Don't you dare hang up on me.
I can't listen to this anymore.
He's wearing himself out.
Dude, he's tired. He sounds tired. He sounds like really worn out in that, like just breathing all hard, hyperventilating. And she's just like, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah, he's hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Novak, what is the alcohol doing to his brain at this moment? Well, like, what is it about alcohol that makes people angry in your experience in the recovery world?
I just think I don't know. It's not a black and white, defined answer. It's kind of a case by case situation. But I think for speaking of myself, I drink and I was a great guy and I had a lot of fun. And then when it no longer became fun, I really started hating myself and who I had become and what I stood for and what controlled me, which was alcohol and drugs. Then I would drink and become really angry. Like I said in the beginning, because I hated myself and who I had became, I projected hate towards anybody or anything as soon as I consumed alcohol,
Yeah, that's why I'm a happy drunk. It's like I'm happy with my life, and it's like, I mean, I shouldn't be drinking all the beer I drink because it's all that sugar's bad for me. The alcohol's hurting my heart and everything, but I'm happy when I do that, which is, I guess that's a problem too, because you're doing something that makes you happy that's self-destructive.
Yeah, I mean, clearly his life's in a state of disarray. He's on a 10-hour rant with his ex-wife, who's in one of his houses with one of his kids, and he's held up what sounds to be like in a house by himself, getting loaded.
Yeah. He's drinking alone.
Yeah, I envision him just like walking around this big fucking mansion by himself, screaming at the top of his lungs till he literally screams himself out of breath. Literally.
Sounds like someone else I know.
Yeah, I've envisioned that several times through this too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll call the police.
What?
I'll call the police.
You fucking cunt. I'm coming to my house. You're in my house, honey.
Yes, but you, honey, don't call me honey. You just call
You're
me.
in my house.
It's,
So I'll call the police and tell them there's someone in my house. How about that?
you can do that. That's fine.
She'd love that.
I don't involve the police in anything because I stand up for myself. You weak cunt. You call the fucking cops.
God.
Then I will go to Alessia's right now.
Why don't you fuck off to that cunt bitch Alicia? She was fucking making eyes at me. She'd have sucked me in 5 seconds. Keep that one. I was trying to spare your goddamn feelings. She'd have blown me in 5 seconds. She's not your friend. You don't have any fucking friends except me. And you treat me like shit. So that's why I'm so fucking angry. Because I don't have any friends. And I try and make one from you and you treat me like shit. And you fucking use me. The career is over. And boy, when I said that, you lit out of here faster than I've ever seen you before. And now you'll be at Alicia's place. You just showed me what you are.
Oh wait, yeah. Sorry, I accidentally paused that. But one thing that he's doing by saying you don't have any friends, I don't have any friends, he's creating this emotional barrier, like this island of isolation. This.
And you need me.
Yes.
You can't live without me.
Yeah,
we are my home. You have no friends. Your one friend wants to fuck me.
Yeah, we are on an island that I've created, and there's no way off, baby.
I am an asset.
Yeah,
you will not live without me.
And she's worth. And he's also saying she's worth. Like he says, he's bought her these things. They're talking about going to you're fighting over going to the jacuzzi. He pays for the house. He pays for the maid services. He's paying for all this stuff, and he's saying you owe me because of this.
It's almost like that battered wife syndrome. As I'm beating the fuck out of you. Look what you made me do.
Right.
I did not want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it happens. Then they make him dinner. And become very subservient.
It's like another day after that, right? It's just like that. That's like the cycle.
He didn't mean it.
Right.
He's really a good guy deep down.
Yep.
And then probably the next day he's very sympathetic, apologetic.
Yeah, so sorry, and everything's good for a little while, and then it's just back at it.
Yeah.
Something happens at work, or
it's a wash, rinse, repeat. Hence us listening to 7 different calls,
7
different
tapes.
days.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy though? Like I grew up. I'm sure you guys obviously grew up. Mad Max, Lethal Weapon, Braveheart, all that stuff. So it's like you see like your idol or somebody that you might idolize, and then you hear this stuff, and it's just like. Not only am I embarrassed for him, but like somewhere deep down, it's like, this is hurtful because I respected at least his career. I never obviously met Mel Gibson, but like, it's just crazy to imagine somebody in those like, comedic, action-packed, great roles that he's been in to just hear him like yelling these obscenities and just being so fucking mad.
The counter to that is, we have a society full of false idols.
Yeah.
And, we see these people in the silver screen and we expect them to be inhuman and immortal. And they're not. They have human flaws just like the rest of us. And we've all had a bad night. I don't think I've had this bad. God. But, imagine if someone recorded you at your worst moment.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to what you're saying, it's like we create this image of these people who we worship, and we're shocked when we find out they're only human.
Surprisingly enough, he wasn't shunned upon as much as I thought he would be after these tapes. I remember thinking, like, oh, he's fucked, and he wasn't.
No,
wasn't. It was big for a minute, but I thought like the blacks would have disconnected from him. The Jews would have disconnected.
Well, there are, the head of all the major studios are Jewish. So you would think that when he made anti-Semitic remarks towards the cop when he got arrested when he was drunk, that would have ended his career. Yeah. But, people see a lot of opportunities in him. He's one of the biggest male box office draws ever. So it's, when cash weighs into the balance, sometimes our morals take the light end of the scale.
I mean, look at the new face of Nike, Colin Kaepernick, which is the biggest talked about subject in sports, football per se. Took the knee. Wasn't even playing for a team. No teams would touch him, but then yet Nike comes along and says, we got something here.
Oh, you're talking about from the financial aspect.
Yeah, now he's the face of Nike.
And they're
causing all this controversy. They're burning shoes.
Yep.
This, that, da.
Mm-hmm.
Nike went down at first, but now they're shooting right up.
Oh, yeah,
and the crazy thing about it is that like the NFL won't pay Colin Kaepernick, but the NFL pays Nike.
Yeah.
And now Nike's paying Kaepernick. It's this crazy thing, and people are just outraged by it. It's pretty nuts right now.
Well, did you see Nike's statement about it? They signed him to show all their other athletes, whatever your views are, we'll support you. We won't drop you like other sports companies have.
Yeah.
So whatever your views are, go for them. Do what you think is going to make the world a better place. Here's Colin Kaepernick to prove that we'll back you.
Meanwhile, all these sweatshops making Nike shoes and all this stuff.
That's the thing. Is like, you know what? At the end of the day, people are paying top dollar, and I don't care whether it's Nike, Adidas, whatever. They're paying top dollar for shitty ass pieces of crap that just have swirls all over them, made in third world country by slave child labor.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your morals now? All right, anyway.
All right, Debbie Downer.
We're straying
talking
from
about child porn next or something?
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Perfectly.
I don't care if you don't spend another penny. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Perfect. I believe it now.
Listen. I don't.
Watch your ass.
Listen to me, Mel. I don't give a damn if you don't spend another penny on me. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
I am just fearing for the life of my daughter. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen.
What you are, and you have just proved it. You got out of here in record time.
Because I'm saving my life and I'm saving daughter's life. That's what I'm doing. I don't give a damn about my music, and I don't give a damn about you spending another penny. I'm saving her life.
Yeah, well, you're awful angry for that.
You almost killed us. Did you forget? You were hitting a woman. Forget? You were hitting a woman with a child in her hands. What kind of man is that? Hitting a woman when she's holding a child in her hand, breaking her teeth twice in the face. What kind of man is that?
You're all angry now.
You're gonna get to it. You know what? You're gonna answer one day, boy. You're gonna answer. Bear.
Oh, did you hear her? Did you hear?
You're gonna answer one day, boy. You're gonna answer.
She's mad now. She's mad now.
You can hear it.
Nothing. I'm not the one to threaten.
I'm threatening. I'll put you in a fucking rose garden, you cunt. You understand that? Because I'm capable of it. You understand that? Get a fucking restraining order. For what? What are you going to get a restraining order for? For me being drunk and disorderly? For hitting you? For what?
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Usually how restraining orders are born.
Oh God, dude.
He's a mess.
And she's using psychological techniques to edge him on. First she plays the delicate wallflower, but she has these little jabs. What kind of man is that? And then she says, "Oh, you're gonna pay for this," or whatever she said. So she's obviously has plans for these tapes at this time. I don't think she's really. Maybe she's doing it to protect herself, but then she says she doesn't want anything. But she did get all this child support money and all this stuff when they separated.
Well, whatever happened with this music career that was mentioned?
Oh, that's coming up.
All right.
Okay, here, tape number 3. This is called Fire the Wetback. I didn't name these. I don't know why.
Don't hire. Come there, okay? You get that message?
Well, I'll pay her myself. I found her. She's my dentist's ex-babysitter.
I've been paying her. I paid with. I'm her employer, not you. You found her. I'm her employer.
Fine, but if I need to use her, I will use her.
Because I will not pay her if you bring her to your house. I will fire her, and I will do it fast.
Okay, then I'll pay her, because I need her. She's good.
No, you're paying her with my money. It doesn't matter what you give her. It's my fucking money. You understand? You don't have your own money. You're only using my money. Okay?
Because you made me moneyless. I used to have $100,000 a year when you met me. You took me. You possessed me. Everything I am, you owe me with my liver and my kidneys and my thoughts and my soul. Everything. My career or whatever it is. Pathetic career. Whatever it is yours. You control me like marionette. I don't belong to myself, only to you. I can't do anything and I walk on the eggshells always with you.
That's because you're a fucking using whore. I warn you. Do not use her at your house. I have warned you. She will be fired if she goes to your house. You find that cunt and you find some other money that's not mine. Okay?
No, I'm using A, B.
She's fired. Do you understand that?
Fine. She's
I will
fired.
fire her because I won't pay her.
Okay, don't pay her.
And I will fire her.
That's okay.
Only works at my house.
Well, she has nothing to do with your house. Baby's here.
The baby should be here and she should work at my house.
Baby is where I am. You're insane.
Does the baby have a name?
Yeah, really.
Fire if she is at your house. I will make it known and fire her.
Fine.
I'll report her to the fucking people that take fucking money from the wetbacks, okay?
Mel, you can't just take a woman who gives you a child, who gives you the entire life. You drag her through God knows what bad press. I've never had a bad word said about me in the entire life. And then you're telling me that you take away whatever pennies that you just given to me. I don't have anything.
Pennies.
Because I've given you my life 3 years now.
I gave you everything. Don't you dare fucking complain to me. I fucking hear you. You don't fucking count. You're a fucking using whore.
What did I use you for? I've given you everything I had.
Fucking thing.
I've given you everything. I've been your woman. I've given your child. What the fuck are you talking about?
Bitch, that's all. You would have done it for any fucking You probably fucked.
Wow.
I know you did. That fucking yes.
I swear in front of God I never have.
Fucking ugly man. You don't give a fuck so long as they pay your fucking rent.
I am not the whore, and I'm not the bitch, and I'm not the cunt, and I'm not the user, and I'm not the thief, and all those words, and I'm not a liar. All this lies.
He's not even listening.
All this lies.
No.
I'm not a whore, or cunt, or thief, or prostitute, or anything that you call me, or not a user, not a gold digger. I don't have any money and no property assigned to me. That's a gold digger for you? Are you insane? Yes, you are, of course. We can hear that. It's screaming. Don't call me bitch. Don't call me.
Oh, now she cares.
No, right.
What happened like
I don't
5
have-
phone calls
Yeah, I
ago?
know.
What kind of gold digging? What kind of gold
See, he
digging
was
whore is
fading
this?
out.
Yeah.
God, cry, poor mouth. You could go through money like a fucking whore. You want the fucking dress. You want the tickets. You want the fucking equipment. Somehow it went from 33 to 43.
Mel, the equipment is instead of payment. If you hire any composer, you'll have to pay $200,000 plus.
I don't have to. I can do it for nothing. I don't need you, and I don't want you doing it. I don't think you can.
They're talking about the money that he spent for her, quote, music career.
Yeah, well, it's clear now. It's all coming out now.
It's all fucking true.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're a fucking whore.
I think you just, all you want to do is just shove me in a hole and sit me at home. So much for your promise, I want to let you fly. This is such bullshit. It's such arrogant bullshit. You never meant to do that.
Now, cunt.
God damn.
What?
I gave you every fucking opportunity.
And I've done extremely well. But nobody asked you to spend so much money on the videos and everything. And why do you count my food out of my mouth? Why do you do that? I live with you. I gave you a baby. We're together. And you counting that and summing it all up?
They still
And
haven't
why
said
do
this
you not
child's name.
separate those two?
Yeah.
If you count the food in my mouth, why don't you separate it? And how about you giving me money and I'm feeding you and going shopping all the time and buying you extravagant presents?
Talking about you fucking ignorant bitch. I don't understand you. You're saying stupid shit. How dare you fucking even insult me with some of the stupid reasoning you have. Your logic sucks because you're a fucking mentally deprived idiot. You can't even fucking figure out.
I have to go to the
It's
baby.
a tax money instead of a credit card. Don't you get it?
Goodbye, Mel. Baby's crying. I have to go.
I don't hear a baby crying.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, you cunt whore. I hope she doesn't turn out like you.
You know what's
Mel hung up on her first. Did you see that?
Wow. He showed her.
You're gonna hang up on me.
Did you notice that they're both so selfish that no one is calling the child by its name?
Yeah, it's just baby.
They're
That's
so
it.
self-centered that the baby is just a baby. It must be horrible to
An
live like.
object.
Yeah. Imagine living like this.
I'll pass.
Let's take a quick break. More Novak and Frantz show right after this. Hey, it's Taylor Cooper, co-host Kev.
And I'm co-host Dan. I have to bring something up that's been bugging the shit out of me about your wedding.
What?
You've known me a long time,
Yeah.
all right?
You've known both of us a long time.
Long
You've
time.
known
We're on
Kev
the-
a long time.
Fucking radio show together.
Yeah,
We are your brothers.
correct.
Why the fuck was I in the corner?
Yo,
Both of us.
We
Yo.
were the furthest away from the bar. We were the furthest away from the food. It was like, I'm just going to put you guys in the corner because I don't want to see you.
Check out Might Be News on mbnnetwork.com. Also, SoundCloud and iTunes. New episodes every Monday.
So I have a theory about alcoholics and drinkers in general. A lot of people think that alcohol is kind of a truth serum. It makes you say things and do things that are hidden deep down inside, almost like the serum that turned Dr. Jekyll into Mr. Hyde. You know, they say that all these horrible, outrageous things you do while you're intoxicated are really within you. My opinion is of the opposite, actually. I believe that alcoholics and drug users, they can't create anything. They can only destroy things. So they take a great deal of satisfaction into pressing the self-destruct button on a relationship. And I kind of think that's where Mel Gibson's at right now. But on the other hand, I can't help but think that he really wants this relationship to work out in a fucked up way. Like, I think that if he really didn't care for her, he wouldn't be talking to her. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just wants his daughter back.
I think that this is like just kind of the way he wants the relationship to be at this point. Like it's still a relationship, even if it's not a good one. It's they're still communicating, even if it's to us abrasive and crazy to listen to and traumatic to listen to. But it's still they're still interacting with each other, and I think that that's what he wants is exactly what he's giving to her from the sounds of it.
Wow. All right, so here we go with tape number 4. This isn't, and again, I didn't title these. This is titled "Blow Me or I Burn the House Down."
Sounds like a great album cover.
Idea. What the fuck do you hope to accomplish with that? What are you hoping to accomplish with that? What, are you gonna pay me back? If you do that, it's over. It's over now. Fuck you. How dare you act like such a bitch when I'm being so fucking nice?
I did not blame you.
I've been so fucking nice.
In the last phone call?
Maybe last night was his nice night.
Jeez.
That was mean. You were fucking annoyed at me. For what reason? I
What?
did nothing but be nice to you.
What?
I've done nothing but be nice to you.
I didn't blame you last
How
night.
many little bitch this morning for?
I wasn't doing anything.
What did I do? And you said, oh, also earlier today never mind. What the fuck were you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say about any earlier today. It's just I was gonna say about last night. That's all.
Why? Because I let you sleep? That's my fucking mistake. I should have woke you up and said, fucking blow me, bitch. I should have fucking woken you up and said, blow me. You would have liked that better, yeah?
Oh my
You
God.
need the goddamn sleep.
We were supposed to go to Jacuzzi, and you said you have to wait for something.
So why did you have to wait?
You said,
You go to the goddamn jacuzzi.
I'm afraid it's dark outside.
Fuck it.
I just waited for you. I waited and waited till I fell asleep, and then
Waited like 2.5 fucking minutes. You're fucking snoring. Don't you dare wait. You're blaming me right now. Now I'm blaming you. You went to sleep.
I don't blame you.
I deserve to be blown first before the fucking jacuzzi.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I'll burn the goddamn house down.
Oh my.
But blow me first. How dare you?
Oh man.
Fucking dare you? You wanted the number of my therapist? Don't you ever speak to him. Find your own goddamn therapist. Because you got problems more than me.
You need
And you know
medication.
how to fucking push my buttons. And it is not going to work with us. It's not. I can't get like this anymore.
Thank God.
And you know you're doing it. And you're a liar. And you're dishonest. And you're fucked up. So you stay the fuck away from me. Take care of your fucking son. And I better have my daughter. I just want my daughter and a maid. It's a lot less fucking trouble.
That's all. Why only a maid?
They make your goddamn bed. Wish you did not. You don't have to worry about emotional blackmail or any of the other bullshit that you put me through. I just need a nice woman to look after my beautiful daughter. I don't have to fuck her or anything. You're a pain in the ass. You're a pain in my ass.
God.
Stop being that.
What the fuck?
You're a pain in my ass. Nothing but.
she hung up on him. Oh my God, dude.
So was he mad that she didn't wait to go in the jacuzzi because she just ate? Like, no. I mean, like, you know, like the rule that you're not supposed to go swimming or something until, like, after you just eat or some shit. Like, he's just so mad that she went to the jacuzzi.
Well, no. He's mad that
She didn't go.
Oh, that she didn't go.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they had this big, and I don't know why they're fighting over a fucking jacuzzi.
Oh my
It's right now,
God.
just go in a jacuzzi or
Yeah.
don't go in a jacuzzi. Why are you fucking fighting about that?
Well, there's a checklist. Apparently, she had to blow him before the jacuzzi.
Right.
I think he added that later. I don't think that was a demand at the time. She said that the way I see the story is they were supposed to go to the jacuzzi. He got busy all of a sudden, maybe got a work phone call or something like that. And then she waited for him and he felt guilty because she was waiting around for him and not going into the jacuzzi. And now he's telling her, why didn't you just go to the jacuzzi? Why do you have to wait for me?
She was scared and it was dark, she said.
Yes. But you know goddamn well if she would have went without him, he would have been pissed at that too. You go without me?
You're damned
I
if you-
paid for the fucking jacuzzi.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Definitely.
God damn it. At this point, he will take anything that he can, and it doesn't matter. He's mad at her for sleeping.
He just demands an audience, and she's the only one giving it to him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one else is taking his calls, if he's trying to call anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues to do it. I think she has other ulteriors or motives, like audio recording the call for, like, when they go to court soon.
Mm-hmm.
But she answers relentlessly.
You know-
this is like the 6th call of the same goddamn banter, and she continues to show up for that.
Mm-hmm. Occasionally, I hang out, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll hang out with some stars who've been in like major motion pictures, and sometimes they default during conversation into one of their characters that they've played that have been seen by millions and millions of people, and so I'm wondering. Is he reflecting on the Lethal Weapon character? You know how he was prone to psychosis? And is he kind of going into that character and assuming him? Or did he draw on this anger for the role of Lethal Weapon?
I think people of that stature, they literally can live in their own world.
Mm.
you know, literally. So it's like, it's just normal to him.
Mm-hmm.
Their lives are different.
Yeah.
He's played so many different characters too that he could pull from. You know, that's crazy, man. He's nuts. What I'm thinking, like the whole time that we're listening to this, is like, I wonder if there was anybody else that got phone calls like this from Mel and just didn't record them.
Oh, yeah, like who?
Like any of his friends, his agent, or like anyone, family members, anyone. Like, I'm just curious if like he ever, like, if she's the only one that he acted this way towards.
That's interesting.
Because then that goes back towards what I was saying earlier about the relationship that they've formed, whether it's good or bad, it's still a relationship. I don't know if like he is using her as this vent.
Yeah.
Like a day, just a bad day for Mel, and I'm just going to call this woman and just freak out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's basically his property. She said that.
Yeah,
So,
she said that. Yeah.
He can act any way that he wants to her.
Right.
I mean, he pays for everything: the housing, the food, the nanny service.
The terrible music videos we watched on break.
Oh, God.
Threatening to fire people because he pays.
Yeah.
To make her life easier.
Yeah.
So he probably couldn't do that with his agent.
Well, no, his agent is in the same position. You think his agent's going to find anyone who's going to draw him more money than Mel Gibson? Right?
Right.
So, you know, the people around him, his agent, his publicist, his PR people, they all need him as well. So I don't know. Maybe he is prone to acting like this. But I'll tell you what, like for my situation, everyone in town thought my father was a saint. They thought he was the nicest, sweetest person. When he got home to his family, he was a monster.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Novak, you're right. Maybe it is just Oksana because he has her captive in this fortress of solitude that they've created.
Yeah, I mean, the same exact thing goes for my dad. Even so much so that lawyer that we were wrapped up with, that he called me not too long ago and he said, I really want to apologize. He said, I had no idea. I knew Rome from the bars and from court, and, you know, he was a very charismatic, nice guy, but I had no idea what was going on at home. And he felt really bad about that, you know. Because he couldn't treat his lawyer the same way he treated us.
Right.
You know.
So everyone thought your dad was just the life of the party.
Yeah, he was
the guy who
everyone
just
loved him. You know, they couldn't wait to see him coming. No one spoke anything bad to him ever, ever, ever. Literally night and day, though. You come home as the people that like live with him,
and he's angry, abusive, domineering.
Yeah, yeah.
He terrorized everybody.
Charismatic. You know, the ruler of the domain. You know, when he was awake, the whole house was awake.
Yeah.
When he slept, everyone was to be quiet and not interrupt him.
So he would come home from the bar. I remember in writing in a lot of the research we've done, you guys would all be asleep.
Yeah.
2 a.m, the bar is closed. 2:30 happens.
Mm-hmm.
Throws open the door. Blares on Fleetwood Mac. Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Get up.
And everyone had to come to the living room and sit on the sofa and watch him and his biker buddies party. It's I could see Mel Gibson doing the same thing at his home, coming home and.
Why would your father want you guys to watch him and his friends drinking?
I don't know.
Do you think it's to prove to his friends he had an attentive family and people that loved him, or do you think?
No, I don't think it was that.
Maybe just more the merrier.
I don't know what it was.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay, so here we go. This is tape number 6. This is. I don't know what the person who titled this called. It's your PSSY son. I don't know if that's your pussy son or your pissy son.
What are you talking about?
You're out of here in 15 minutes. I never seen you clear out so fast as when I said I'd pull the plug on your fucking lustic bullshit.
You said you pulled the plug.
Living here today was fucking comedy.
You've told me 100 times you're going to pull a plug. And
but
you
I'm serious
will.
this time.
I know, and I don't give a damn. I'm just saving my child's life because you are a monster. That's all. You're a monster.
Okay, you yelling now? Good.
Okay? You are a complete monster. I don't give a damn about the fucking career which you spend money on. Not me. I never asked you to do that. Ever.
You fucking bitch. You ask me for money all the time, and you've had my money to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So don't you say you didn't ask for it. You asked for every penny.
I don't have anything. And
He's
I've signed
disgusted.
a paper.
Yeah.
I've signed I've signed the paper that enables me to get. I can't get anything from you ever, nor can I ask of anything.
Shit! How dare you lie like that?
I've signed the paper.
Dishonest, fucking, gold-digging cunt! Now I'm sure you whore!
I have signed the paper. I don't want anything from you. I don't have anything.
My child, and she doesn't need a gold-digging fucking Russian cunt.
She's.
We all know what you are.
She's certainly.
That child.
She certainly.
Easily.
I'm sorry. You will not have this child.
You keep her because they'll know what you are.
Mel, you're imbalanced. There's something wrong with you. You need medication.
Shut up, you fucking.
You cannot raise this child with these symptoms.
What?
You're acting as a crazy man right now. And you have been for many, many months. And you hit me and you hit her whilst she was in my hands. Mel, you're losing your mind. You need medication.
You need a fucking kick up the ass.
That word pisses him off, medication.
Gold-digging whore with a pussy son. And I want my child, and no one will believe you. So fuck you. And I'm not giving you my house, and you can rot unless you crawl back, suck my cock, and say you're sorry in that order.
In that order.
You fucking offend my fucking maleness, my masculinity, my being, my soul. And you call me a sinner. You're a fucking moving violation. It's your fault for showing off your fake tits. Like they're some special deal.
Are you
How much
crazy?
do they cost, those fakers?
Are you crazy?
Fakers.
Baby. Come on, you got little bladders in there. You think I'm an idiot?
Bakers.
Have you said everything?
I said nothing. You need to say a lot to assuage my insanity because you made me this way.
I didn't make you this way.
You fucking did so.
You were born this way. And you yell and scream and threaten everybody around you. Everybody's pussyfooting around you because they will scared shitless out of you. But you paying...
A bunch of fucking using cunts like you. You're like every other fucker.
You paying them money, and they will never tell you the truth. They will never tell you the truth who you are because you're paying them money, inclusive of your psychiatrist, who should send you to a neurologist because you are imbalanced and you need medication, and he's just taking your money.
You know, Taylor, you were saying that earlier, that he probably treats other people like that. And you know what? When you're rich, it's a lot of times it's a curse because no one will tell you you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one. And even your a friend of mine's he's a rock star. And he went to his doctors and he said he demands all these different medications. And his doctor's like, no, I don't think that you show the symptoms. And so he said, look, if you don't prescribe me these, I'm going to go to someone else. I'm going to get them from someone else. So you can make money, and I'll keep coming to you and my family will come to you, or I'm going to find someone else who's going to write the prescription. I'll get it anyway. So you may as well do it. And the doctor did it. You know, I've also seen psychologists who and counselors that will not tell their movie star clients they're fucking up. It's everybody else's fault. They'll give a little helping tip here and there, but they'd rather have the $500 an hour it takes to have a call at 2 a.m. when they're in a crisis and they have to come all the way out there and at the house to talk the person down. It is true.
They live in their own world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's probably got so much money that and does so much stuff that it's like he might not feel in his mind that anybody even understands him, where he's coming from, you know? And like you said, Novak, he's like living in his own world and no one else is there with him. Mm-hmm. And just everybody else is kind of like an enemy on the outside of the walls.
Yeah, he expressed that. And you know what? I'll wager that he sees the people around him kissing his ass and sees that no one will tell him that he's fucking up. And I think maybe he thinks they're weak because they won't stand up to him.
Yeah.
I think it's typical addict alcoholic mentality where the abnormal becomes the normal.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal to him. Why? Because he lives in his own world.
Mm-hmm.
And he can kind of pick and choose who plays what parts and at what time.
He's living in a prison he created with his own hands.
Yeah. Or a movie that he's created with his own mind, or reality that he's created with his own mind.
Yeah.
You know, that is some of my movie star friends will tell me that. They'll say that one guy I was hanging out with got in a very famous altercation with his wife, and to the point where there were cop helicopters circling his mansion. And he said, in his mind at the time, he looked up and said, wow, just like I'm in one of my movies. Just like I'm in a cop movie right now. This is great. Like it must be a sick life.
And there's really rarely repercussions from their actions.
Yeah. One guy I know who was a movie star, a guy was breaking into his house. He just wanted to get some memorabilia or something. The guy was slipping through a fence and got caught in between the gate and the fence. Dude took a knife and cut his ear off.
Wow.
And never went to jail, he just paid the guy off and never got in trouble. And no one knew about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Still tape number 6.
I mean, I've been with Bam when he's got pulled over and loaded, absolutely loaded, no business behind a wheel. And the cop's like, oh, let me get a selfie with you. Oh, shit. Here, I'll drive you home, or park your car and have someone come. You know, and that's just one of the millions of celebrities.
Yeah. I remember Bam would say he'd Viva his way out of it.
And he would.
Fucking expert.
Yes.
Fuck off.
You are completely off your mind. I've never seen anybody like this. You have a schizophrenia. Because you're born like this, my dear. You are so spoiled. You have biggest ego, and you let yourself roll.
You hurt me too badly.
My God, what an ego. Nobody would dare tell you that. You're paying them money, for God's sake.
What?
Nobody will tell you that. You're paying them money.
Oh, like you, huh?
I don't need anything from you, okay? I will disappear from your life just like I came in.
Fucking credit card, you callous cunt. You never even say fucking thank you.
Yes, I have, many
I
times.
say thank you every 5 goddamn minutes. And not call me mean. And not look at me sideways. Just suck my cock.
God damn.
Fucking cunt whore, that's all you're good for. That's about all you're fucking good at. Much better than fucking music. You there?
Her music's pretty bad.
Dude, it is. Well, before this tape, when we went to the break, CJ pulled up some of her music videos. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He's not far off there.
You know what? Maybe that's why he's so mad, because he spent all that money on her music career and she's
garbage.
So guys, what's your favorite Mel Gibson movie before we go to the last tape?
I'm a big Mad Max, all 3 fan, big time. Grew up on Mad Max.
I would say Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon was great too.
Yeah, that's the one I knew.
You guys are missing the coolest one, Edge of Darkness.
Edge of Darkness.
Yeah, it's a modern day film noir.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a crime drama, but it almost feels like a late 1950s crime drama.
Is it newer?
I think like 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great fucking film. I really like Mel Gibson's acting. And in a way, I feel sorry for him, not because I feel that he's the victim in this situation that we're listening to, but I just, all the insights we've had about him so far, it's like, it's a shame that anyone has to live like that.
Something took a turn somewhere to get him where he's at in these tapes.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel bad for, whatever it was.
Here we go. For our final Mel Gibson tape. This is tape number 7. I didn't label it, but it's labeled "Bang a Dude in Front of Your Son."
Oh, you're there. I just want you to know that your
This is
whole
not Baby.
relationship with me, everything about you was an offense to me and offended me and pissed me off.
So you notice how his tone has changed. He's wore himself out.
Yeah.
His tone, he's wrapping it up. If this were a 5-paragraph essay, this is called the conclusion paragraph.
You get my last message about me being a bad father and level. I despise you. I don't want you back. You have proven yourself to me. You're not a fucking woman I want. You can't hang. You're not a fucking woman. You're a fucking fake. You're a fucking sham. You don't know what the fuck it means to make a man happy. You didn't make me fucking happy. I couldn't make you happy with the best I did for anybody ever. Ever. You fucking glum cunt. You didn't fucking crack a smile with the tree ceremony out there. Nothing. The fuck do I have to do? And remember whose fucking roof you're under. You ingrate bitch. And that's it. The game's over, okay? The game's over. Let the new games begin.
New games.
I thought the games were over. Your son can watch it. What is it? Number 45 he's going to have to look at?
Oh, wait, that's what...
Son can watch it. Get it on with anybody else and your son can watch it. What is it? Number 45 he's going to have to look at? Fucking good.
Ugh.
So fucking sorry I had a child with you.
Oh.
Now I am. Now that I see you. I hope you fucking don't sleep. Hope you fucking waste. You fucking ruined me. You fucking ingrate. I'm so mad. I'm so angry. And this is not the nicotine. This is the truth.
The nicotine.
You fucking don't love me one bit. You know it.
At least he's not blaming it on the nicotine.
Bitch.
Good night, Mel. I love you. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Mel Gibson tapes. Guys, catharsis. In conclusion, what have we learned? Taylor?
Don't do what Mel did.
That's a good point. I'll concur. Novak, what do you think?
He's just a piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a whole bunch of things. He's a piece of work. Yeah.
CJ?
I'm still just processing it. Who knows? I mean, I feel bad he spent $200,000 on a music career.
Yeah. That was definitely wasted money. My biggest shock the whole thing is they said the word baby about 20 times and never said the child's name.
We did get a boy, so we know it's a boy.
No,
that's a daughter. She has a boy from a prior marriage. Yeah. And my other big surprise is he's acting surprised that he's found out she had fake boobs. That is so strange. How do you not know?
Yeah, that's strange. And also, it's just one big takeaway for me is just like how straight up disgusted he was throughout that whole thing. And like, I don't know what made him that disgusted. Like he was just everything around me is horrible and you're the reason. And like, and like Frantz, you were saying, like maybe he looked at his yes men people around him and thought they were weak. And maybe like, 16, 17 hours a day of that. And you get home and you're a powerhouse. Like I'm just going to yell at this woman because I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I think the main thing I take away from it is each of them considers themselves the victim in the relationship. So she's the victim because she says she's given him her everything, her love. She's bore him a daughter. He says, I've given you money. I've put a roof over your head. I get you maids. I put money into your career. So he kind of answers spousal love with money. And she offers it. What she brings to the table is her fertility. And that's no way to live. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up here so much. It's our time on the Novak and Frantz show /podcast. And I just want to put in a word for our producers network, which we are on.
Yes.
It's called the bmnnetwork.com. And
MBN Network.
One job and you fuck it up.
The The Might Be News
I got to
Network.
get new glasses. I'm reading that from a piece of paper and I fucked it up. It's the mbnnetwork.com that I just bragged I was on.
How much it means to you.
Fuck is wrong with me? Anyways, and if you like news, if you like science, if you like hot topics, if you like,
No one likes to store Hot Topic anymore.
Yeah, I just realized I
What's wrong
said
with
that. Yeah, anyway, just go there. You're going to see a whole bunch of slew of shows. Taylor, tell us what they're going to see there.
We got all kinds of stuff on the Might Be News Network. We got Might Be News is on Monday. Relatable Radio is on Tuesday. Might Be Sports is on Wednesday. And the Novak and Frantz show is on Thursday. We're doing a lot of great stuff, a lot of good stuff coming up that we're working on. We really appreciate everybody checking us out. Go to mbnnetwork.com. You can check out all the bios of the shows. You can stream all the shows from the website. We're doing big things, and I really appreciate you guys being a part of this.
Yes, we do. And to repay you, we're going to end with a very short joke. The first guy says, "No, Novak, you're going to like this one." All right, then I'm going to tell one about you. Okay, so the employee goes into the boss's office, and the boss is making a list. And so he's writing down on his list, he says, buttered toast, Novak's underwear. And the employee says, "Boss, what kind of list are you making with Novak's underwear and buttered toast?" And the boss says, "Things that are yellow and crusty." Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next time.